What's good everyone, it's Sahilfordakill in the streets of Surrey, and today I'm gonna review the PS Plus PS4 free games lineup for September 2015. But hold up, something's different this time. That's right, one of the games on PS4 was decided by PS Plus members as part of the Vote to Play campaign, and out of the choices, Grow Home was the winner. As for the others, not to worry, you'll still get discounts on them on the PlayStation Store. Moving forward, we got 2 games on PS4 and 2 more cross-buys from PS3 and Vita. Let's begin with the Vote to Play winner, Grow Home. It's no surprise that this won the polls because of how visually pleasing and colorful it looks, but first, let me state what the game is really about. In Grow Home, you play as a botanical utility droid, or Bud, a robot on a mission to save his home planet by harvesting the seeds of a giant alien plant. On your quest, you'll discover a beautiful world of floating islands that are home to some strange plants and animals. During the mission, the ship, named Mom, gives you tips on how to play and what to do. Basically, all you're trying to do is grow the plant. Bud is a botanist. You can grab with each hand, allowing for free roam climbing and dragging objects. The control, I'm not gonna lie, it can be hard to get used to. Bud's movement is based on momentum, so it takes time slowing down and speeding up. This can be difficult to handle when you need to change directions all of a sudden. The game is beautiful to look at. It's a lush, bright, vast, polygonal world free to explore. However, the length of the game, from what I've heard, is about 1 to 2 hours, which to some may feel short, but the good news here is that the game doesn't overstay its welcome. And plus, there's a ton of crystals to collect as well, which essentially help you to upgrade Bud to make the game last longer. But what ruins it for me is the control. Like I said, Bud is momentum based, but his balance is terrible. Okay, here we go. Just need to walk over to the sprout and damn it! Why is it so hard to balance on the vines? One small inch over to the side and Bud takes it the wrong way and does a leap of faith. Okay, come on, this is it, shit! This really pisses me off, and the worst part, you have to climb all the way back up if you fall. If only you had better control over Bud, this wouldn't be so difficult. You know, I would save him using the floating flower, but it's more satisfying seeing him bite the dust. But you could truly say it was worth the efforts when you reach that amazing viewpoint. I mean, damn, it's like a tough mountain hike. You go through hours on hours of grinding and you're finally rewarded with an amazing sight. The more and more you go up, the more the game rewards you with eye candy. So I guess it all works out. Final verdict, Grow Home features a fresh new style of platforming which at times may be a pain in the ass to handle, but the stunning visuals make up for it. This game has earned its title Vote to Play winner. Go ahead and download it. Next, we got Super Time Force Ultra. Man, the art just screams Pixel Jam. This game is about a scientist who invents time travel, but his future self, Commander Rapitsky, interferes and uses time travel to send his elite squad of time-traveling badasses, the Temporal Inevitability Manipulation Experts, or TIME, to erase history's dumb mistakes. What, are they gonna travel back to the 1940s and kill Adolf Hitler? Because if they were, then that would be a sick boss battle. You could just judge by the looks and call it crap because of the pixel graphics, but please don't make that mistake. This game is an action-packed shooter that manipulates time. Here's how it works. You start with 3 members of the Force, Sean Ramboys, Amy McKillen, and Shieldy Blockerson. Yeah, I bet they thought they were clever with the names. Each player has different abilities and you can mix and match these abilities on the playing field. Each level starts out with 60 seconds on the clock and you get to choose between the characters you have. You fight bad guys and along the way rescue civilians who can join your force. But again, all the events happen in real time, so you have to hustle to save them or they'll end up dying. But sometimes that's not enough. That's where timeouts come in. You can time out, rewind to a specific location in time, and jump back as the same or different character. This time, you'll have more firepower because your previous self still exists. If you take a hit, you die. But the game's not over. You just time out again and respawn. If you run out of time, then you die or cease to exist, so you have to rewind. If you run out of timeouts, then the game's over. Yep, It all comes down to saving time. When you start a level, you barely get enough time to complete it. And you can't bullshit around. If you waste too much time, you'll be forced to rewind and rethink your plan. The only thing that pissed me off was the control. You use the right stick to move and to aim your weapon, and the trigger button to shoot. There's no way to aim and shoot at a standstill. You have to be moving. This is so inconvenient, especially with the sniper. Yeah, what kind of sniper can't aim without running around? This is bullshit. And I get that the idea is to keep moving, but at some point there are situations where you need to stop and aim to get past. The game has a humorous overlook. I like how the Super Time Force has no regard for anything in the past that might alter the future. Just kill, 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 surely nothing will happen. There's also funny little comments here and there in the dialogue. That's the thing about these pixel games. They don't focus on the graphics, but rather the overall enjoyment of the game, and that pleases me. Final verdict? Dude, this game's freaking hectic. There's so much action and real creative as well. This is a download. Next, we got Xeodrifter, I think that's how it's pronounced. As you can see, this game tries to throw back to the retro days of gaming. You're basically this guy who damages his spaceship when he collides into an asteroid. Now he tries to explore nearby planets to find the parts he needs to warp out at hyperspeed. Not much else to it, but I would say the space theme has been quite overused in retro games. The gameplay, self-explanatory, just walk and shoot, straight up. The soundtrack is nice, good old classic 8-bit music that you feel like jamming to. Overall, not a bad throwback to the NES days of gaming. But here's where the bullshit settles in. I go to the first planet that catches my eye, probably the purple one. And how does it start out? Fine, until you reach a dead end. There's no way to swim down, so I'm guessing you need an upgrade to do so. For the blue planet, it's the same thing. You start off with a pool of water which you can't swim under. If you can't proceed through the level, couldn't they lock it off or something? On the pink planet, you're chilling until you meet this annoying enemy which takes a million hits to be killed. Not only is this game annoying, but it's actually a throwback to the times where this was an actual problem in games. So that just begs the question, did the developers purposely do this? Finally, we got green, and thank God I can actually proceed through this one. But the boss is real hard. This insect thing keeps killing me. He moves faster than you, and you can never tell whether he's gonna dash or jump. There's gotta be something wrong here. Let's check the pause menu. Oh, what the hell? This is balls. But let's be honest, in general, this is not a game for the PS4. It's a piece of hardware capable of pulling off outstanding real-to-life graphics, while we're over here playing something that's 8-bit. Don't get me wrong, it's a good game for what it is, but I can tell it's more suited to the Vita rather than PS4. Final verdict, I'm just not feeling it with this one. It's got a tiny space for download, but I have tiny interest in it. Leave this 8-bit shit alone. Finally, it's Teslagrad. At first look, this game looked nice. The graphics are up there, but unfortunately the gameplay doesn't match up. You start out as a child who is delivered to his mother by some guy. You're then raised in this household for a couple of years, until a village is raided and your mom sends you out to escape. From that point on, you're running through the streets and on the roofs trying to escape. This is neat. The visuals are pretty and the soundtrack works just as well. So I'm enjoying this so far. I could question why I'm being chased by a pedophile in the middle of the streets in the pouring rain, but it probably doesn't matter. But then comes the castle. You eventually do escape this clan and enter a deep dark fortress that looks nothing as pleasing compared to what you just experienced. Then you enter a dark labyrinth where you solve puzzles. What happened here? Well, it turns out this game isn't a platformer alone. The beginning chase was just a hook to get you to keep playing, at least until the castle. Then they give you this metal fist which can alter the magnetic polarity of metal objects, and the game turns into a puzzler. I'm fine with puzzle games. They're not my favorite, but as long as they're engaging and interesting, I'll play them. But when a game locks me up in a dark dungeon, then I have issues. What makes developers think the players actually like being in the dark? It's depressing. So I'm solving puzzles, avoiding monsters, not much more to it. You do eventually get some metal boots, which makes me think that there are more metal pieces of armor waiting to be collected. The boots let you warp, which is pretty cool, but most players are probably going to lose interest before they can make it this far. Final verdict, this game had potential to be a pretty platformer, but instead took a turn for the worst. My strange request to players is to play the intro, but stop playing after, because it doesn't get better than that. There's the lineup. I'll admit, we've had better games in the past. Some of these games were good, but all of them were flawed in some way. Grow Home has frustrating controls, Super Time Force you can't aim without moving, Xeodrifter just isn't for the PS4, and Teslagrad is boring. Unfortunately, this month gets a 5 out of 10. That's the review for the PS4 PS Plus free games lineup for September 2015. Hope you enjoyed it. Like if you like, cause haters gon' dislike. Share and sub if you know what's up. And leave a comment to show me some love. I'm Sahilfordakill in these streets.